Yes, hello, this is Thomas, and we're going to do some pair programming on the project Unify thing. So let's see where we're at. So we're on the develop branch. I'm just going to do a git pull upstream develop to make sure that I have the latest code, and I probably do, yes. So I'm just going to do a git checkout. A new branch called privacy. Oh, sorry. And I will be working on a small, let's see, a small little feature, add user privacy. The story goes, as a site user, to protect my privacy, I want to decide if my profile should be made public. So basically what we need to do, I think, is to create a privacy setting for the user and a scope in the users on the users model to decide if that profile should be displayed.
Can this profile be accessed by the show route?
Once again?
Like, can you access this profile from the show route? Like, if someone accesses API/v1/users/ that guy's name, should you display that profile or no?
Yes. Well, if the profile is marked private, I would say that the API should not return that. But the Godwin interface should be able to show it, because that's the administrative thing, right?
For matches?
And they shouldn't be used for matches, you know. So this is basically. Yes.
But the person can match, right?
Yes, the person could match, but he could not be matched, basically, I would say. So let's just see on the spec side. I'm just going to run art spec model user specs, and I think that this database is on line 9. So let's just run this, and we'll see a failing thing. And we're going to generate a new migration saying, yes, we are failing on that. So we're just going to go Rails, generate migration, add private to user and private. Migration, add private to user, Boolean. And just let's just have a quick look at that migration, so it all looks good. Add column users.
Did you send me a gem for this device token authentication using API?
I don't know.
I think. All right, you just sent me the Angular one, I guess.
Yes, I sent you an Angular one. So there is I think in that story on the pivotal tracker, you can find some links to the device authenticate, token authenticable or something, But I'm not sure what path we should take there. But,
this Angular device, this looks like this is for like when you have an Angular app and a Rails app together. But for us, it will be different, right?
Well, I'm not sure, because the Ionic app is, the application we will build is an Angular application. But I'm again, you might be right, because we will. I mean, the idea is to open this up to through an API, so even other applications could use it that could not be Angular applications. So I just wanted to show you that and just have a look.
Yeah, so this one says that this is like for I mean, when you have a Rails app and the front end, for the front end you are using Angular instead of the normal ERB and all that.
Yeah. So perhaps it's not relevant for us, but I just wanted you to have a look at it.
Yeah, cool.
Okay,
I'll
so
see the gems in the story comments.
Yeah.
All right, go on.
So let's see. We have migrated that. Let's have a look at the schema, and on users, we have a Boolean with private, which means basically that this specs should pass for us now. I need to get a new computer soon because it's So it responds to private, and
by the way, a tip, like if you want to make your test run faster, so like if you want to run rspec, you can just run spring rake spec and rake rspec and then the command, and that will run much faster.
Okay, can you paste the command to me because it in the chat?
Yeah.
So let's see, git status. Okay, so git add git CIAM added added. Oh. That's it, and let's see. So we need to create a scope. So let's see, we have a block with scopes, templates, skill stacks, scopes. So So I'm gonna just wrap this in another describe block. Describe mentors and mentees. So we're gonna add this. Well, we use the. So I got an input from Sam that it's not called mentorees but mentees. So we have to probably rename those methods, but that's a little bit outside of the scope for this work right now.
Yeah.
So we're describing the mentors and mentees, and then we're gonna describe private profile 2, and then we're just gonna create 2 users basically, and there is a private true and private false, and then it private returns. Well, how should we do this now? It's about naming. So private. So the attribute is called private, and the scope should be called. Let's see. How should we name the scope?
Private users.
Yes, but we actually want to say open profiles or open. We want to turn this around. So we might,
like user.public.
Public, yes. Let's call that public. Public profile, perhaps. Is that too long?
Yeah, too long, I guess.
So let's say public. Let's call it public. Returns profiles.
I need to go for like 10 minutes. I'll be back.
Yes. So let's just say, so expect user. Well, actually, what we could do is like a default scope. Yeah, default scope return. So, all. Yes, let's do that. So users all to include. It should include user 2. Right. And it should not include user 1. Oops. What? There you go. It should not include not. Yes. So this line 66 should fail for us now. Yes. So let's see. How do we set a default scope? So active record scope. Default scope. Query interface has many default scope. Yes, that's the simplest way to do this. Let's see. So we go to users, and the users are here. Oh, so many files. Scope, and let's say that we set a default scope here, and where public is true. And I made a mistake, I think, in the migration, to be honest. Let's see, where is the migration? I didn't think this through. DB migrate. So private is, no, false, yes, of course. Oh, gosh. So where is false? Default scope where public false. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. We will have to change this to mentees, but okay. So let's see if we can get this to pass now. Public. Damn. I'm a little tired today, I think. Yes. So that returns everybody. And then we want to create another scope because we will want to show the private profiles as well at some point. So let's just say that it private returns profiles with and is that a good name? So private. Yes, we can call it private, I think. So we just say that expect user 3, but private to include what is it's supposed to include user 1, and it's supposed not to include user 2, basically. Right. The private case is yes, so that will fail for us. Let's just have a look. It's on 75. 75. They should fail for us. Yes, it does. So let's go to the user, and we just create another scope saying private, and when private is true. Right, private, da, 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 da. And let's see if that yes, private. So let's call it profiles. Let's call it private profiles rather than private. And we can always discuss whether this is a good name. But let's stick with it now, because Active Record is complaining that we shouldn't use names that are already assigned to other methods. Yes, let's see. Private profile is expected, activated at the diff. Okay, so private is set to true here, and where private is set to true here, and we're getting an error. Why do we get an error? So let's do a binding try here and rerun this. And yes. So what is user 1? Private is set to true, and user 2, private is set to false. So if I do private profiles, I get nothing. So if we do a user where private true, wow. Why is that returning nothing? Da, da, da. What have I done wrong here? Yes, because of the default scope. Of course. So Rails skip search. Yeah, skip default scope. All right, how to bypass default scope. Yes, of course. Unscoped. So let's just do that. So we have to unscope, and we're getting that. So let's say, let's quit this and go back to our implementation, and we go over here and in the private. So I would say unscoped where private is true. And let's run the spec again, but let's remove the binding try. and see if that returns something. It blows up in our faces. No, it did not. Okay, so we can have a private profile thing. Yes, good. So let's just clear this up a little bit. Like this. Yeah. Okay, so git CI/AM added scopes to profile to user. This. And now the next step would be to actually, we don't have to make any changes to the API because we have the default scope, returning everybody that is not, yes, and we have a default setting to false, but we should definitely update the API feature, I think, could be a good thing. So let's go to features, and we go to the API and v1 and users index feature, and then we say private, and then we just set this to, let's create a new, so let's say false, and let's say false, and let's say false here, let's say false here, but we create another one saying, you know, and then we say true on this one, for instance. So this should, you know, just by having this extra user and not returning him here, implicitly tests for that, I would say. So just, I spotted out more. Okay, so let's run cucumber features API v1 users index feature and see if that is actually working for us. And it did. So it didn't include Anders. So that's good. So these tests are up for refactoring anyway, so we will not add any new stories like a sad path or anything. But, you know, just keep it this way. So let's close that one, and let's have a look at the Godmin users feature. And we have, like, we need to private, and just set that to false. And let's just do this like this, puff, puff, puff. And then we just create a new one here as well, saying Anders, and Anders, and the password.
Looks like you've done the whole feature while I was away.
Yeah, kind of. But so I'm on the Godmin thing right now. Let's see how that reacts to our stuff. Godmin users feature, and then just like what do we want to do? View user index. That's on 17, and let's see. So what I did, I created a default scope. But I also created another scope here. Let me just show you. So I created a default scope of where private or false, but then I created another scope to set private profiles. I needed to call it something because I couldn't call it private. Active Record was complaining. And then I said unscoped where private is true, you know, because I have to, since I have a default scope, I need to unscope it basically.
Yeah, so shouldn't you want to have another scope which is like all profiles?
This is all profiles. The default scope returns just the ones with private false. So user all will.
Yeah, that's right. But like for the Godman interface, wouldn't you want something like all profiles, where it does not matter if it's private or false, or would you just want it to be like if you run user dot
so there's two ways to do this. I'm inclined to do what you're saying. I think that's the best thing. Yes, let's do that.
I mean, we could also do user.all.unscoped, right? Or is that wrong?
We can just do, if we do all profiles like this, like you said, and then we can just say unscoped, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea actually, because otherwise we will need to create. So in Godman we can create scoped views, you know. But I think this is better actually, for now at least, you know. So let's just create. Let's just create all profiles returns all profiles to include user 1 and user 2. Yes, I think this is a much better solution than the one I was just about to implement, because I think I was just about to do something much more complicated, but this is actually a better solution, I would say. Yes. So this means that in the Godmin controller, controllers, users controller. Yes, well, let's see. In service, user service, we need to grab everything. And how the hell did we do that? On Godmin, where's Godmin? God. I need to override the way we are getting resources. Scope unpublished, scope published, that's not it. Batch actions, custom ordering, resource class, resource related resources.
One thing, I don't think we should allow login via user's name. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
Username is like, I mean, email is something you can remember. A username might have accents and all that symbols, but email is something that only has characters. So
okay.
That's what I think.
Cool. But listen, I have a question. So on I don't know if you've read through the Godmin documentation, but how can I so right now I need to say that the resource that is supposed to be fetched is, you know, I have to override the.
Yeah. I'll tell you. Just open the page and do a control search for update resource. Open
here?
the documentation.
Yes.
Like their README page, update resource, and your screen isn't updating as usual. Update underscore resource.
Yes.
And then scroll up. That the resources params. There's a method. Yeah, that one is you need to patch that. So.
And instead of so I would say super, and then just dot.
All profiles.
Yeah.
I think that should do it. Hopefully.
Yes. All profiles. Well, it gives me an Anders cannot find all profiles.
I just put a binding.pry there. And
we can run the same test.
binding.
Right?
Binding.
Oh, sorry.
And then just in the debugger, just run the super in brackets params and tell me what that returns.
Yes.
Your screen is slow.
Yes, so that is already making the, but let's see what super params with all profiles. Yeah, that should be, so we have a private false, private false, private false, private false, and false. And we already created in this users feature, we have not created any true. So let's say true. And quit that. And let me just add this. I should and I should see Anders. Like this, and let's run this again. And just gonna say, so Thomas is here, Mazen, Tarek, Ivan, and Anders is here, and it's set private true, so this works. Okay, cool.
Alright, so as a part of this feature, there's just one change I'd like to make. That is, change the username column to name.
Yes.
Will that be okay?
Yes. I
mean, I'll make it as a part of my pull request for the device token.
Okay, then it's better if you do it in one place, then we don't get any conflicts. But okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I didn't want to make the change. I just said, is it okay for me to do it?
It is okay for you to do it. It's okay. Let's keep this this one clean. But I'm up for it. So, and also what we need to do now, I would like to say private. I'm gonna in the attribute for form. Let me just commit first before I do anything. Git CI or provides scope and updates admin resource fetch of the users. So, and now I'm gonna do, so I want to be able to add the private settings to the Godmin interface, and I want to show it on the on the index, so we know whether and we also want to show whether it's private on private. Right, something like this. And let's see. So that's it. And I'm going to go into the views and I'm going to go to users, columns, and I'm just going to copy and paste, and I'm going to call it private, and I'm just going to jump over to Bootstrap.
One question.
Yes.
The only way we want users to be logging in is through the API, right?
Yes.
And creation and updatation can be done through the API as well as through Godman.
Yes. Well, actually, so the administrator is supposed to create. The administrator should be able to create users as well, but not. But they shouldn't be able to log into the admin interface, of course. So resource.
So this the admin user like that is logging in through device, or that
no,
is
so right now the admin user is using the built-in authentication of Godman. Yes,
that's cool.
New private. Okay, so let's just have a quick wrap-up and have a quick look at the application for a second. Users, and let's edit this one, and we're setting him to private, and we update this user. Record not. What? Where is that? Find what's going on.
So I guess during the search, it's all default scope. I guess so you need to change that for the show method as well, show resource method.
Okay. This is a fine. Okay, so the file, yes. Resource.
Wait, this user is private. This user is not private, right?
He is not. He's well. We're setting him to private right now.
Oh, I see. That's why I guess.
But the error message pisses me off a little bit.
So what's happening is that your default scope is only public profiles, right? So
yes,
Godman cannot find this user in the public profiles. So you need to change that.
So we need to change this. So find resource ID, and then so resource relation. All profiles, right?
Yeah. I think there should be a way to.
Yeah, one would think so.
For all, try and find out.
Let's just try that again. So we need to cover this with some tests, I guess. But why slug? What? So what is resource relation? Yes. So that's all of the users, right? And then we want all profiles. And yeah, that's all profiles.
All right. So the way you do this is define a method, resources relation,
Hmm?
and like if you open up the Godman docs,
Yeah. Yeah.
there is a search for a method called resources relation.
Okay.
So yeah, so you need to modify that. There will be a method for that, I guess. Just scroll up a bit.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, so just modify, monkey patch that method to make it super.all profiles.
Oh, okay. So basically, so I don't need this method then. I need
Yeah,
this.
you don't need any of those method, I guess. Resources as well. Yeah, that just delete that method as well. The resources one.
Okay. Okay, now we get a little thingy here. So, you think we can delete this as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's try that. Oh. What? Okay. So update user. Yes, it updated the user. That's good. And on users. Okay, so we have, all right. So we have a private setting here and a mentor setting here. That's good, I guess. So what we could use, we could have like a tab up here, switching through private and public users as well. But I don't think it's necessary at the moment.
All right. So this one is really. I found this ng token on gem. I guess that might be a better alternative for the gem you give.
Okay.
So this is basically, I mean, this is made for the gem we are going to use.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to use the device token or gem, right? The article that you.
Well, it's up to you. It's up to you to find the best solution, actually. So I'm not sure what is the best thing, to be honest.
All right.
As I said yesterday, I tried some stuff and I have a feature branch for it, and so basically what I wanted to do first is just to be able to do a post request by in creating the user, not logging him in or anything. But when I patched the registration controller and did a curl or a postman request, so the registration controller in device is automatic. When you register, you're also automatically logged in to the application. Okay, so the registration was okay, but then it invoked the sessions controller, and then the Godmin authentication kicked in, and everything blew up because it couldn't.
So I think this should be fine, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll try and figure this out.
Okay. So git status. Git CI. No, git. Yeah, CI. For user index. Okay. And so git push privacy, and that should be it, I would say, for this one. Where are we? Let's just go over to GitHub, Real Ventures, Project Unify. And we just compare this, and we go here, add user privacy, story, and add user and scopes. Changes. User index. That's about it, right? And we're going to develop, of course. Yes. Okay. So that was it. Let's stop the recording here. There's not much to talk about this feature. You and I can stick around, but this feature is done for now. Thank you for watching.